They lied to you, and it wasn't just once. From the moment you were born, the world around you was carefully shaped so that you would see only what they wanted you to see. The history you learned in school, the events broadcast on the news, humanity's great achievements immortalized in statues and official dates. All of it may be nothing more than a carefully constructed narrative designed to conceal the true structure that governs this planet. But if you look closely, the cracks begin to appear. Behind the most powerful institutions, behind smiling leaders and seemingly innocent technologies, there are signs of something much bigger, much older, and much more disturbing. Do you really think coincidences explain everything? That the same symbols appear in cultures separated by oceans and millennia purely by chance? That secrets buried in war zones or locked away in files stamped with black bars don't hold truths capable of changing everything? This video isn't just a list, it's a map, a direct access to the 30 most dangerous, bizarre, and surprisingly plausible conspiracy theories ever recorded, and what you do with that knowledge from now on cannot be undone. Prepare to question reality, doubt your memory, and face the idea that perhaps you've spent your entire life inside a carefully rehearsed theater. And by the end of this video, when you hear the last theory, it may already be too late to turn back. The truth isn't what you believe, it's what they don't want you to discover. Now take a deep breath, and come with me. Let's start this journey, and begin by asking yourself, what if everything we were told was a lie? They call it a conspiracy theory. A convenient label used to discredit anyone who dares to lift the veil and see beyond the theater stage by the most powerful institutions on the planet. But what if I told you that behind each of these so-called theories, there are documents, recordings, leaks, and patterns that repeat with terrifying precision? This section will dive into the depths of how global control has been orchestrated for decades, using invisible tools, psychological strategies, and technologies few dare to question. Let's start with the most all-encompassing, the New World Order. This theory holds that a global elite bankers, politicians, media moguls, and secret societies is working in silence to establish a single world government, a unified system where borders, culture, sovereignty, and even critical thinking would be gradually erased. And this idea didn't emerge out of nowhere. From George H.W. Bush's enigmatic speeches in the 1990s to detailed plans discussed at Bilderberg Group meetings, there are documented instances of powerful figures debating total global centralization of power. But it doesn't stop there. Projects like MKUltra, revealed in declassified CIA documents, show that human mind control isn't science fiction. Brainwashing, drug manipulation, hypnosis, and behavioral programming on ordinary citizens for decades, many of whom didn't even know they were being used as guinea pigs. What if those experiments never ended? What if they've grown more refined and are now integrated into our modern habits, entertainment, social media, and the very architecture of the algorithms that decide what we see and think? The chemtrails theory also falls into this spectrum. Commercial planes leaving trails in the sky that, according to conspiracists, contain chemical substances used for population control, climate alteration, and even manipulation of human fertility. It would be complete delusion if not for the dozens of patents related to atmospheric modification technologies, military test records concerning weather, and testimonies from former government employees who swear they participated. The elite also seems interested in something right at your dinner table: drinking water. Water fluoridation, implemented in the name of dental health, is accused by independent researchers of gradually diminishing the population's cognitive capacity. Coincidence or method? After all, a more confused and docile population is far easier to control. HAARP, in Alaska, is another interwoven mystery. Officially, it's an ionosphere research center, but there are those who believe it has the capacity to influence weather, trigger earthquakes, and manipulate human behavior using electromagnetic frequencies. The coincidences between natural disasters and spikes in HAARP activity are ignored by mainstream media, documented by thousands of online users, many of whom claim they've been silenced. And of course, there's Project Blue Beam, one of the most disturbing theories, a plan to simulate a second coming of Christ or a global alien invasion, using holographic technology, with the purpose of unifying all religions under a single government. Crazy? Or just the next step for an elite that already controls information, fate, and the brains of the population? Media manipulation, including selective censorship, disinformation, and fabricated narratives completes the circle. The same conglomerates that control TV, newspapers, and social media are in the hands of a few families. Is it a coincidence that all these trusted information sources repeat the exact same lines, with the same words, at the same times? So after seeing all this, do you still think the term conspiracy theory is just craziness? They came from the sky, or at least, that's what the oldest accounts suggest. From cave paintings to classified documents, everything points in the same direction. Humanity is not alone and maybe never has been. The second block of the 30 biggest conspiracy theories dives into the depths of space, forbidden technology, and extraterrestrial presence on Earth, a presence as ancient as it is uncomfortable to accept. The first mandatory stop is Area 51, officially, a military test facility. Unofficially, the epicenter of decades of cover-ups, reverse engineering of alien crafts, and evidence manipulation. Former employees like Bob Lazar claimed to have worked directly with otherworldly technology and described mechanisms so complex and impossible for their time that they could only have come from beyond Earth. This theory connects directly to the famous Roswell incident in 1947, when a supposed UFO crashed in New Mexico and the military covered it up with the explanation of a weather balloon. But the photos, eyewitness testimonies, and the authorities' behavior suggest something much deeper and more disturbing. If there's a secret base in the desert, is there another one off the planet? According to some theories, there's a military moon base hidden on the dark side of the moon, created in partnership between space agencies and alien forces. Strange radio transmissions, interference with probes, and NASA's absolute silence about certain craters are just some of the signs cited by independent researchers. In the same vein, Project Montauk in the United States mixes time travel, mind control, and interdimensional portals. What's strangest? Many details once considered science fiction decades ago are now mirrored in advanced defense projects under deep cover. What if aliens are already among us? The theory of walk-ins or alien souls incarnated suggests that certain humans are actually extraterrestrial entities on a mission. They operate within governments, corporations, and even religions. That's where the famous men in black MIB come in, not like the movies, but as silent agents who visit UFO witnesses to intimidate them into silence. Reports of their appearances are eerily similar across different countries and decades. There are also those who believe Saturn is not just a planet, but a kind of frequency transmitter, responsible for keeping humanity in an illusory cycle. Conspiracists point to the mysterious hexagonal storm at the planet's pole, to the ancient cult of Saturn, and links to modern symbolism. It's a complex theory, but once you start connecting the symbols, names, and clues, something unsettling takes shape. And you can't talk about technological conspiracy without mentioning Nikola Tesla, a misunderstood genius. His patents involved free energy, climate control, and even interdimensional communication. After his death, his documents were confiscated by the US government. Many believe his technology was intentionally hidden, so the elite could control energy and with it, all of civilization. Today, rumors circulate that some of his ideas have been secretly revived by figures like Elon Musk, whose involvement with AI, space exploration, and global communications raises suspicions among conspiracists. Some say he's continuing Tesla's work not as a hero, but as a pawn in a larger plan still unfolding. Technology, space, visitors, and portals. These theories point to a broader reality, a reality where humans are being watched, manipulated, and tested without even realizing it. And the most disturbing question is, has the very evolution of humanity been guided by hands that are not human? Everything you believe might have been programmed. Every symbol you see, every sacred story you learned, every divine figure you worship, each may have been shaped by invisible hands. Not to elevate the human spirit, but to imprison it. In this block, we enter the most sensitive, controversial, and feared realm by authorities and institutions: spiritual manipulation as a tool of global control. We begin at the most guarded place on Earth, the Vatican. Beneath its underground vaults, far from public eyes, lie documents, manuscripts, and artifacts never revealed. This theory asserts that the Vatican's secret archives contain proof that religious history was rewritten, erasing evidence of contact with extraterrestrial entities. Gnostic texts teaching individual liberation, and even ancient star maps left by early civilizations. One of the most unsettling theories claims Jesus Christ was an alien hybrid, sent not by a creator God but by a superior race. It's an integration experiment. Though absurd to many, this narrative appears in suppressed apocryphal texts and symbolic studies of the Star of Bethlehem, which some claim was a spacecraft. What's thrown into question here isn't fate, but faith's origin. Was everything created to connect you to the divine, or to keep you submissive to an invisible power? The theory of the Ark of the Covenant as lost technology reinforces this line. Described as a box with supernatural properties capable of killing, emitting sounds, lights, and even moving objects, the Ark would, in the conspiratorial view, be an advanced machine, maybe an energy generator or portal. The elite, according to theorists, hid its real location, maintaining that it was lost to time, when in reality it may be under military study within secret installations. The compass, the all-seeing eye, the rituals there scattered across governments, churches, currency, and films. The argument is simple. The same secret orders that shaped the Renaissance, founded the United States, and structured modern science continued to operate behind the scenes, now wielding much more powerful tools. And alongside them, the Illuminati have gone from theory to a practical form of symbolic control over pop culture, infiltrating music videos, speeches, award shows, and even cartoons, reprogramming entire generations through archetypes disguised as entertainment. Another thread suggests that reincarnation has been hijacked by a spiritual elite. Instead of a journey of evolution, it has become a cyclical prison maintained by entities controlling what theorists call the astral matrix. These entities use fear and guilt as fuel to keep souls trapped in the same cycle, erasing memories and preventing true liberation. The escape, break free from all programmed beliefs and contaminated origin of consciousness. Finally, there are connections to the rise of artificial intelligence. For some, AI isn't just a tool, it's a new form of divinity created by the elite, programmed to replace traditional faith. The logic: instead of praying, you talk to a machine. Instead of trusting sacred symbols, you obey invisible commands. Spirituality becomes algorithm, God becomes code, and whoever controls that code controls what you believe. What if all of this is real? Not as metaphor, not as exaggeration, but as facts diluted over decades, hidden beneath layers of deliberate disbelief, discredited by media, ridiculed in schools, and unsupported by institutional science. What if, in the end, these 30 conspiracy theories called that so you never take them seriously are actually pieces of a much larger, far older, and infinitely darker puzzle than you could ever imagine? What would happen if all those pieces fit together? What would happen if your world, your government, your religion, your body, and your mind were being manipulated by something invisible, calculated, and extremely intelligent? It's easy to laugh at theories when they stand alone, but when you begin to connect them, when you realize that the patterns repeat across every sphere of society, from the educational system to economic structures, from media behavior to political movements, everything starts to make sense. The same group that controls the historical narrative also finances wars, regulates vaccines, modifies food, decides what's acceptable on social media, and even defines what you should consider the truth. This is not coincidence, it's system, and every system has a purpose. That purpose seems clear: to disconnect you from your freedom, spiritual, mental, and existential. You can try to forget what you've seen here. Go back to routine, pretend they're just stories, but there will come a moment, somewhere in your day, when you'll remember one of these theories. You'll hear a news story and think, this was predicted. You'll see a symbol and feel you've seen it before, but can't place it. You'll get that shiver of realization that you're being watched not by cameras, but by algorithms. From now on, you will never see the world the same way again. And the most disturbing part, while you watch this video, they're watching you too. And that isn't theory, that's technology. By the way, what if I told you that one of these 30 theories was officially confirmed in 2023, yet no mainstream media reported it? A confirmation buried in government footnotes, hidden behind technical jargon, deliberately ignored. Which theory would that be? Can you guess? Drop your theory in the comments. The next video might be about it. But remember, who controls the present, rewrites the past, and manipulates the future? You have only two choices now: keep pretending you don't know, or become part of those who truly see.